There is a battle between the forces of darkness and light for control of this planet and the human consciousness, as well as control over the use of the human body and DNA. Recently, spiritual warfare has escalated in the worldscape, and those awakened people that are connected to the planetary consciousness body are able to feel the intense pressure we are enduring as this battle rages on in the interdimensional planes, and at the moment, hidden from mainstream media and in most people's awareness to realize that the events transpiring in the world involve a massive war over controlling the consciousness on this planet. The players are human and non-human, and involve the hierarchy of control that extends way beyond the planetary control mechanism of the power elite. As we are provided dispensations that allow us to embody divine energy in physical form, and move the planetary awareness toward the higher light and higher consciousness in the next harmonic universe, the survival and force of the darkness and its artificial intelligence control networks on this planet is threatened. Most of these artificial intelligence software systems installed in the planetary consciousness body explicitly rely on the matter fields vibrating at certain parameters of low frequency, in order to maintain their invisibility within the human visible light spectrum. As these lower dimensions roll up into the next harmonic scale, these dark forces, their agendas, such as the mainstreaming of Satanism, become much more visible and clear to the people of this earth, who are starting to see the clear evidence of the crimes made against humanity, and humanity's children. Those in positions of power have been put there explicitly because of their consent and willingness to carry out the crimes against humanity on behalf of the negative alien agenda, in exchange for money, resources, power, temporary life extension, immortality, and control over the rest of the people. Some have been told they will be escorted to safety onto other planets, when and if disclosure events happen on a mass scale. During this time of shift into the higher consciousness realms of the next harmonic universe, and the resultant need to create new paradigms that support the recognition of value for all human beings and for life itself, there are new multidimensional challenges for those humans that are taking a conscious, proactive and leading role in their own evolution and the evolution of the planet. These challenges come in many forms, including psychic attack, artificial intelligence trackers, negative implants, tags, and dark entities that direct interference in order to diminish the quality of our energetic resources, physical vitality, and optimum functioning, by harvesting and utilizing our precious resources. Hence, suppressing our ability to perceive greater realities of truth and live our maximum soul's potential of experiencing spiritual fulfillment, sovereignty, and freedom on the earth plane. During the evolutionary process of one's awakening and remembrance of the soul's blueprint and contracts, the more conscious and ascended beings take back their sovereignty and live in accordance with the laws of the Creator, rather than man-made laws, thereby transcending the dark tyranny and existing in alignment to the high frequency of living light. As a result of living in the light, these humans, through their actions, influence and guide others to the light and truth, thereby exponentially increasing the power of the light and truth in this world, and diminishing the power of tyrannical control that the darkness uses to keep people in bondage and servitude. Those awakening to remember themselves as multidimensional light beings and becoming a part of the collective starseed grid network on this planet tend to be the targets for these dark forces and their technologies, such as methods used for electronic harassment. The energy of a highly conscious human being creates a frequency signal that activates the radar screen of awareness at the center of control for dark consciousness. Once on the radar screen of darkness places a tag, artifact, attachment or cord on the enlightened being to track them and determine if they are a threat to the survival of the ego predator mind, and the type of self-awareness that the darkness represents as a consciousness. The forces of darkness include many broad streams of sentient beings that are trapped in the planetary consciousness body, and they exist as spiritual forces that are locked into time and matter, unable to evolve, until humanity stops feeding them. It is important to understand that the forces of Satanism are not intellectual forces as claimed by the atheists behind the Church of Satan, but encompass a massive hierarchy of darkly primitive conscious beings. Many of these forces can be described by an energetic signature that directly connects them with fallen angelics, watchers, such as the Baphomet or Leviathan fields. These collective satanic forces make up collective consciousness streams that then can be connected to demonic bodies or generated to create more groupings of satanic hierarchy in the earth. These forces can hop into a human vessel that is unaware, weakened, and mind-controlled by the consent of the satanic vibration. These satanic beings exist at different levels of darkness and depravity, however. They operate together as a collective consciousness force that is directed by off-planet entities that are higher and more powerful in the satanic chain of command. Satanic forces are not sovereign entities, they are parasitic and need human energy to exist. They can appear human or not human as negative alien bodies, and they are trapped in the matter fields or low densities, unable to evolve beyond the bondage and servitude to the earth plane, and are slaves to those dark forces that are higher on the food chain. War over consciousness. Those of us committed to the law of one, to promote sovereignty and freedom for this planet and humanity, have more grid and energetic support than we have ever had. If we have had possession, implant and entity harassment, the spiritual deliverance techniques should offer relief with some level of commitment to the process. We must remember we have returned to this earth to master ourselves and master these fallen angelic entities and the negative energies here. This requires we learn exactly how these entities think, what their strategies are, where they came from and how they infiltrated this planet. We are in a war over consciousness that requires we master the psycho-spiritual warfare being directed toward humanity. In many cases, this will require we directly experience alien implants, entities, psychic attack and forms of alien aggression. We cannot heal the consciousness of our planet until we understand exactly how it became corrupted with the reptilian virus and synthetic alien machinery. Please have patience with the process and command your space as a God-sovereign free being. Portal opening and black holes. Since major portals opening, we have undergone sequential events that have radically shifted the universal geomantic structure. This is the architecture linking celestial bodies, constellations, and stars with our planet. Transmissions are activated on the planetary body to communicate with the intelligent living matrix of the Canis Major constellation and the Sirius star system. These activated previously dormant or corrupted communication links and ley lines network into the planetary body. These new links cannot be circumvented by alien machinery or their synthetic timelines. These triad communication networks are analogous to dropping a new intergalactic wireless internet hookup from Sirius B and the massive Sirius Sun, into the planetary body. The main axis of this network was placed in the 33rd North Parallel Line and is intended as a support for the star seeds that work the grids in service to the cosmic sovereign law. Additionally, this new network supports progress with the alien invasion problem located in the equator line of the planet, with an infestation of nests and phantom wormholes and underground bases. This is significant because this is a demarcation point in the war over consciousness memories that relate to the future timelines of evolution of the human race on this planet. This planet has been in a war over consciousness memories where the truth of human evolution histories has been erased. This has been done by multiple competing species, with attempts to completely destroy historical records in the timelines, by the negative alien agenda groups. This phase will reveal more in-depth extraterrestrial involvement with our planet and with humanity. This means that all issues relating to alien mind control, hybridization, abduction, military programs, such as MyLabs and secret space programs abusing technology, galactic history, underground bases and the many species interacting with us, will be ramped up to the next level of disclosure. We are entering potentially explosive timelines with extraterrestrial disclosure, which open into this year and ongoing into 2017. As we learn more about multiple species agendas, we must improve energetic discernment of the variety of forces that we interact with. These are both seen and unseen forces that take advantage of our lack of awareness. Because we are awakening from the dark eon of alien hybridization, which is the primary reason for the imprisonment of our consciousness, we must shake off these parasites and reclaim our sovereign right to single soul occupancy. We are providing a basic primer to address the most common issues of parasitism that are the result of alien hybridization, implantation and genetic manipulation of the consciousness of the human being. Once informed, any person may be empowered to identify and terminate the source of spiritual oppression. Through the law of consent, we can remove its access and influence upon our spiritual bodies. In order to be spiritually freed from mind control and energetic possession, we must comprehend the necessity of commanding our right to sovereign single soul occupancy within our body and energetic aura. The original blueprint for all who incarnate into human bodies on this planet is single soul occupancy. Alien implantation is reptilian ownership. Many people on this earth carry an assortment of fragments, attachments, ancestral beings, alien implants, fallen angelics, and potentially one or more alien hosts as a result of hybridization, miasma, karmic bloodlines, or alien abduction. Mind control programming and their holographic inserts allow the consciousness body of the individual to be infiltrated through the energetic signature of the alien implant. Mind control programs enforced through alien implantation, and their entity attachments or possessions, are two sides of the same coin. The energetic signature of the alien implant will depend on the genetic and consciousness relationship that person has to the entity that has placed the implant in their human target. Many of these entities believe that humans are their personal property, so the alien implant will have specific information from the extradimensional source of the species that have laid claim to that individual, family line or group. The mindset of the reptoids and other invading species of the negative alien agenda is that humans are their personal property to be used as a resource that serves their domination agenda. The degree to which they perform benevolent actions towards humans is the degree to which that action serves their enslavement agenda. Overall, they are calculating liars and masterful deceivers, and will say anything the human wants to hear, in order to manipulate the results to serve their agenda. Like a farmer that may tend to a sick cow in the herd, it is so he can get more milk out of the cow and continue to make money from his farm. This is similar to the collective thought form of the negative alien agenda, who consider human beings as a portion of their overall portfolio of investments. Multiple occupants equals soul possession. Through the law of consent, it is your sovereign right to command your space and demand single soul occupancy in your body, mind, and consciousness. Single soul occupancy is the original soul matrix designed for the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensions that unite these three layers into one wholly merged and integrated consciousness within your physical body. Many people on this earth are not single soul occupied, and have multiple occupants, soul fragments, attachments or entities hosting them. How has this happened? The hidden agendas of multiple invading extradimensional species include hybridization programs, breeding programs, genetic modification and manipulation of human DNA. The manipulation of human DNA works both for the genetic enhancement of the preferred bloodlines that are hybridized with primarily reptilian genetics, while others are genetically digressed and dumbed down to be a working slave class. Whether a person is abducted and subsequently genetically altered with enhancements to perform certain roles, or digressed in order to be made a spiritual zombie, both methods of genetic modification are the result of the invading species agenda to completely dominate Earth resources. Humans are grouped into the planetary resources as slave labor, replicated into clones, imaged into future synthetic holograms, or used as bargaining tools with other species. As an example, children are coveted for abduction and sold on and off-planet for sexual slavery by these negative alien agenda groups. This is why sexual slavery is a global epidemic and will not improve until humans realize that the sexual misery programs and pedophilia are sourcing from the negative alien agenda. This is not human. The war over God. The fallen ones started to infect their diseased minds with the mental laws they created as falsely masked universal truths. To make this actualized in the physical, they cultivated their human and non-human contacts into alliances that would serve these agendas. The fallen ones infected the God-King lineages of the planet and replaced beliefs of sovereignty and freedom as universal truth to concepts of hierarchical enslavement, genetic discrimination and karmic retribution. As they proclaimed and defended themselves as the true God creator, the war over God and God's natural laws became the main power conflict in our system. These false gods in their corrupt actions to have dominion and control over others imprinted the mental laws with the dark archetype of the false god, false king of tyranny. The kings of tyranny fought amongst themselves as they usurped the sovereign truth belonging to the One, and the battle for the true God became the primary battle within multiple dimensions of existence. 3D humans were dragged into the conflict as pawns to act out this drama and actualize the battle over God in the physical world. As above, so below. And the war over God has been the battle of personal wills to come to the great revelation of truth to be discovered in these end times. I am providing an update describing the escalation of the mainstreaming of the satanic agenda from the recent October class. Begin transcript. Before we get started, I'd like to talk about the current energetic terrain because it has been very challenging. Given the absolute chaos and energetic intensity during the last weeks that have been accumulating pressure in the planet's fields, this has been a very challenging time for many people. For some of us on the spiritual awakening path, especially for those of us that do grid work or energy session work, this time has been filled with a tremendous amount of dark aggression, psychic warfare, consciousness wiping, 3D entrapment scenarios, everything in the kitchen sink that the regressive entities and dark forces use as a weapon to target and harm star-seeded or indigo people. Please know that you're not alone in this and that this is a global agenda towards those of us on the awakening path. Since the magnetic peak, my guidance has informed me to stay very low, going inward. When this guidance comes in to stay very low on the radar, it's the same as when an animal is being hunted for food by predators. In many cases, the animal being hunted gets very still and conserves energy. When you are being attacked aggressively, you must learn to conserve energy and not extend yourself or put yourself in high-risk places or with high-risk people. During this time, I have been viewing portals of black hole systems that lead into a phantom matrix system called the Wezedrak, looking for vulnerabilities where these black hole systems and reversal portals are connected into the damaged areas of the Earth body. As a result, this can be tracked to satanic agendas playing out on the Earth's surface, seeing how these extremely dark creatures from the black hole systems are conjuring black magic, satanic ritual abuse to become more active in the Earth people that are weakened or asleep. These forces have told the Satanists and the Satanic Church to go and open black portals in certain areas of the Earth in order to get black hole systems opened directly in certain demographic areas. It is important for you to realize that practicing Satanists exist everywhere at the highest echelons of political and governmental control. These power elite are those who pull the strings in many cases and are enmeshed with these satanic agendas at different degrees. Some are totally into the rituals or are ritualists, while others agree to carry out satanic strategies and are complicit with the spreading of Satanism into the mainstream world to desensitize people to accept Satanism, otherwise known as anti-human values, in order to make Satanism mainstream and accepted by the masses. As an example, there are mainstream publications that print articles to sympathize with pedophiles attempting to label sex with children as just another sexual preference. Currently in the USA there is a satanic agenda to take complete and total control over the office of the presidency. These many groups of Satanists believe that they are building black houses, that they are building the satanic structures that will hold some of the most ancient, old spiritual aspects of prominent Satanists in previous timelines, and they are attempting to open the black holes, open the portals which allow these satanic creatures, some human and some non-human, and reptilian, to take over human bodies for their intended rule over the planet. I think it is worthwhile to note that this is an aggressive agenda now to take over male bodies that they feel that have a genetic preference in order to vacate the soul occupant and use that body for full possession. It seems that they hold value or status for the genetics of the family of Michael, so they have been attacking this lineage more aggressively, trying to gain access over the body in assorted ways. The Satanists believe they are waiting for their satanic god, or more appropriate, the beast, the pinnacle of hedonistic pleasures of the flesh, to come to the earth to rule it completely and take possession over the physical human bodies, very similar to the prophecies of the Antichrist taking over the earth. They are trying to fulfill that prophecy now to change the future timelines of the earth. Hence, Satanists are trying to open the gates of hell for Satan, which actually is ripping open holes in the phantom matrix areas, and it seems that some are aware this is for giving more access to the negative aliens, or they believe they're opening the black holes for the collective consciousness of Satanism itself. These black forces leading back to the parallel black hole system are spinning misinformation to light workers, or vulnerable people, generally getting them to attack others, to play out victimizer dramas, to breed extreme confusion, chaos, and paranoia at every level. For some people it's very hard to place their trust anywhere at this time, because these distortions and deceptions are very heavy with an agenda to create chaos, so people cannot tell what is real or what is false. This is a gaslighting manipulation technique to destroy the inner spiritual compass or the heart guidance of the people. Please pay attention and see this working in the mainstream. If you can see it when it's playing out, you can clear it, you can move around it so it does not impact you. This time has been taken advantage of by these black hole creatures to direct as much black force, parasites, fears to the light bearers, especially targeting the star people to attempt to slow them down, discourage them, stimulate persecution, victimization and despair, and even attacks against our loved ones. When we remember that the agenda to suck the earth down into the black hole system has been a long-standing threat of intimidation from these satanic creatures and negative alien invaders, it's obvious they're still pounding on that agenda to trick us and subvert our real selves from activating our highest potentials. Stay strong and do not let these creatures get you down. They are desperate and clawing for any way to make inroads. We are slowly separating from these black hole systems. Guardian teams have been working on installing override pillar gates to handle transits at the death exit cycle and to help stabilize the Earth grids. We are progressing, but we are in a deeply disturbing evolution phase because the mass unconsciousness of human pain surfaces, and this can feel like massive tidal waves of blackness. It can feel overwhelming by the emotional body of an empathic or sensitive person. Many of us can feel the satanic forces working their angles to get a stronger foothold in this reality. We cannot succumb to these forces. We have to see them as they are. Whether they exist inside people or not, do not judge the human being. See the force behind them. See the force controlling them and call it what it is. These forces are parasites, psychopaths, sociopaths, emotional illiterates, tyrants, unable to feel empathy for any living creature, and are driven by the most primitive levels of profanity and base desires with no impulse control. In this phase of bifurcation, as we travel the span of realms opened into these black hole systems, it is a rough time. There also have been escalating conflicts over access in and out of the solar gate system that appear to be a byproduct of vulnerabilities generated by these black hole systems, and as well, as we are gradually shifting into a planetary alignment in late 2017. Therefore, certain star seeds or grid workers have been observing or dealing with a lot of aggressive attacks designed to harass and even attempt to take hostage over members of the family of Michael or Seraphim avian lines on the Earth. This current stage is an aggressive agenda to take claim and ownership over primarily the masculine aspects and male bodies, Michael family members having been taken hostage against their will in previous timelines. I feel this is very important for us to stay awake and aware to this event, to this potential. We need to bear witness in order to stop the manipulation of this occurring in the male and masculine aspects around us, as well as help to protect those of us that have partners or family members that have been targeted for aggression. Many of us realize that these fallen angelic entities believe they are alien gods, and we include them in the definition of the negative alien agenda. These groups notice their territory in the solar system is being encroached, and this is another reason for their aggression to harass people. The Luciferian rebellion timelines and histories are stirring up a hornet's nest at this time, and the factions of dark forces are agitated to take claim and ownership over those people that these entities believe they had conquered for territory, and thus they believe they have a claim and right to ownership. The state of ownership is relegated to picking those in such as the Michael group as playthings, pets. I have seen Belial entities put a claim on heterosexual men they believe is a status symbol and want to take as a sexual pet. It takes a lot of strength to stay neutral in this, as the mockery, degradation and humiliation that is intended for our consciousness family is very disturbing. So please take in what only feels supportive for your personal knowing and growth at this time and discard the rest. I firmly believe that the planet in its current state will catalyze a lot more people, a lot more males into spiritual emergency, and this concerns me greatly for those people that do not have a strong, loving presence or compassionate female presence or anchor or in the ascension or spiritual awakening awareness. In this phase I especially feel that the male aspects of this earth desperately need the prayer and spiritual power, the real unconditional love and empathy of the feminine aspects of the Holy Mother to help strengthen and support them through a very difficult phase. The satanic agenda is spreading alien implants and mind control beliefs, and we can see the promotion of this through multiple species hybridization agendas. Synthetic integration with artificial neural networks which are designed to gain control over humanity's central nervous system and brain. We must remember that these minions of soulless synthetic beings do not have organic biocircuitry. They do not have the capacity for emotions, sensory experiences, or for feeling empathy. Therefore this agenda is to troll for human specimens that they can either manipulate into those sensory experiences or use as pets, or even attempt consciousness transfers of another's satanic spiritual lessons into human bodies. Certain preferential genetics are being trolled for, and this is a part of the satanic agenda at this time to put satanic spirits and previous satanic humans inside genetically preferred male human bodies. Partial possessions can be setups for full body snatching, of which the satanic groups are more aggressive and attempting to do more often as well in order to change future timelines. Physical abductions have been curtailed mostly because of changes made in the solar system, but now it is easier for them to go in the astral energies and manipulate their target in sleep state, rather than physically abduct them. These satanic entities attempt to maintain control over the human body through manipulating neural implants that block the mental body from communicating directly with the soul body or heart. Effectively this blocks higher spiritual connection, and this is the design of the recent implant we've been speaking of called the Zeta Seal. It is my belief that this particular implant, the Zeta Seal, is being used right now as the satanics are attempting to take over male bodies, trying to gain control over them because there are many men on this planet that got these Zeta implants reinforced in the military service or at some role in the government, through the use of grey alien military technology. Please do not let this overwhelm you, but be informed. Pay attention to the people around you, as you may well be able to help them. Awareness and spiritual connection protects you and protects others around you. Please know that as you pray, as you consecrate your body to God, as you shield yourself, as you commit to God's sovereign free and cosmic sovereign law in the Christ consciousness, this puts a damper on their ability to interfere. The biggest issue here is taking your consent and authority back, standing in your spiritual power fearlessly even in the face of this satanic force and reaffirming who and what you serve and what you stand for, which is God's sovereign free. They continue to harass but they cannot take your rights away when you command them in the law. Their leverage is always taken when we don't understand or know what is happening through the imposter games of deception and trickery. As a God sovereign free being, you have rights to repeat and command the laws of God in service to the greater good, and with your clear consent, you are powerful to claim other beings as free under human divine rights under God's universal laws. All humans have this right, but they do not understand it, so you, in many cases, can act as their representative if you view them being harmed, trapped or enslaved by these forces without their direct knowledge. Remember that speaking directly from your own heart in your own words to express what you want to say out loud is just as powerful. I suggest that we bless and consecrate all of those you may become aware of that are being harassed in this way. Remember kindness above all. Stop taking things personally. Work on being a force of pure, loving kindness. The world, the people need this more than anything right now. Thank you for listening, as these are difficult times for those of us that work with the planet Earth's fields, and it's important that we find solidarity between us with loving, kind and compassionate hearts, and to not let the naysayers, the criticizers, the victimizers, the people that are dark portals and ignorant of larger events to exert control over you. You must be strong now, and it will take every part of your commitment to remain strong in dedication of your service to God in the face of a satanic scourge. We cannot walk on eggshells for those people who are easily offended or insulted. Be kind but be fierce in the defense of your inner spirit and preserving your direct relationship with the Godhead. Lisa